What do you want to talk about?
Wrestling and beer.
Wrestling?
Why?
It's wrestling.
It's wrestling.
Why? Why?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Why not? Why not?
It's fake.
Fake? What the hell are you talking about? Fake? It's not fake.
Fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Okay, wrestling.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wrestling Gold Friday Night. Yes, boys and girls, we did make it to Friday night. Don't know my. Uh, Hold on one sec. Give me one sec. I'll be right back, folks. All right, let's try this again. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to Wrestling Gold Friday Night. Hopefully, everybody had a pretty good week. My week was just a week. Ready to get the weekend started. A nice little weekend to get a lot of relaxation accomplished this week. Of course, I was sitting here. I'm like, something's missing. Something's missing. What's? Oh, I was like, notes here. There's the missing. I was like, we can't miss that. So yes, it is Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. So time to crack open a cold one. And again, let me know what you're drinking here in the chat. Cheers. Yes, that goes out to all the hard-working men and women who put up with a grind all week, and unfortunately are putting up with the grind the weekend. We do appreciate you folks as well. Uh, Here we go. But yeah, made it to Friday. So yes, if you're watching me on Facebook, uh, join me in the comments. If you're on YouTube, hey, join me in the chat. You know what to do. Click that like button as well. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, join me in either one of the chats. Either share a memory if you have any, or just be friendly, like joking here. Say, hey, what's up, Ron? What's up, Joe? I'm here enjoying this nice cold beverage. And of course, oh, oh, one of these days I'm going to hook this phone up and uh, share all these texts I get. Calls. That never fails. It's right. I think they're messing with me. Okay, so joking, sucky week, coughing my head off all week. Also got to work in the morning. Thank goodness I don't have to. Not, not which I, I do got to work some this weekend. I got paperwork to do. I got laundry to do, pack up, all that good stuff. Expenses. I got to go by the office and drop off expenses, things of that sort, and drop off a sample. So yeah, kind of working this weekend, but not like you know I actually got to be there at a certain time or anything like that. Even though as usual, I'll probably try to get everything done in the morning. Actually, think about. I know this sounds gross to some people. Actually, thinking about rewarding myself tomorrow. Maybe going to Golden. Maybe I'll think about it. But anyway, yes, this is Wrestling Gold Friday night. We talk about the good old days of professional wrestling. Back when wrestling was wrestling and wrestling was real. Because damn it, it is still real to us. Is that too big to put on a T-shirt or bumper sticker? But but yeah, hopefully you get feeling better. I don't know if it sounds like allergies or flu. Supposedly the COVID's coming back around. Um, I listened to one person and they were like, "Yeah, I know this person's got COVID. I know this person's got COVID, but it's not like as bad as it initially was. Should be over it like a because I know what was it about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I know somebody got at work and got COVID after this is I said 2 years, probably about 2 years after the 2020, and went to the doctor, got tested, and oh, yep, you got the vid. Like, okay, doc, what do I do? Uh, Take some Mucinex. Like, really? So you went to the doctor, had to, make a copay, pay the copay and all that, and just for them to tell you to take some Mucinex? I thought this was like a deadly thing here. It is what it is. Uh, but I think it's just uh, probably just humanity kind of got everybody's immune systems are uh, able to fight it now. Kind of like I mean, I can't really articulate, how it happens, but I think go back to the what was it, Spanish flu? Same thing kind of happened. Everybody kind of got immune to it, or their and the viruses, your immune system kind of gets builds up tolerance to fight sicknesses. Does that make sense? I'm a doctor. I took some medical classes, but was to be a doctor. I don't think I would have had the best time manner. Hey, dude, you're like, yeah, broken leg. Some gun's broken. Or how state the obvious, I guess. Anyways, so yeah, we're here to talk about some wrestling. Sorry, I'm kind of like I'm looking at three different things here, and I think it's just my family lessons when I'm doing this. Sometimes family and friends. Hey, it's 8 o'clock. He started. Let's screw with them. Bunch of text messages. Anyway, so yep. Uh, what else? Any kind of adventures? Didn't really have too many adventures this except the work truck breaking down. What happened to me this week? But at least it broke down when I got to the site. I left the hotel. Uh, like all the lights were on. I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna be good. Um, then got was able to drive to the site, and when I went to move the truck, it wouldn't start up. So I had to get it towed, take it to the shop, got a new alternator put in, and oh, it's not acting right. So I had to put it back in the shop. Luckily, it's a company truck, so it's not on me. So that's a good news. And it just because we do have the option of getting a company truck or using our own vehicle, get mileage, get paid mileage. Like after what happened was I think yeah Wednesday. Like if I had any thoughts about getting my own work truck and get paid mileage, those thoughts are the window now. So anyway, enough about me. Let's talk some wrestling. Of course, how we start things off is talking about the history of professional wrestling. Yes, today in wrestling history, today is August 22nd, year of our Lord 2025. Let's working go. On this day in 1972, Bob Armstrong and Argentina Apollo defeated the Assassins, the original Assassins, Tom Ernesto and Jody Hamilton for the Macon, Georgia City Tag Team titles. Cut all this off. Here we go. Anyway, yes, they defeated the Assassins for the Macon, Georgia City Tag Team Championship on this day in 1977 in Memphis, Tennessee at the Mid South Coliseum, drawing 7,143 people. The Exterminators defeated the Gladiator, pictured here, and Ed Bluckert. Armand Hussein and Wee Willie Wilson defeated Leroy Brown and Lord Littlebrook. Of course, you probably remember Lord Littlebrook from the Blue Bloods with Bobby Eaton and well, actually no, he with the Blue Bloods as well? I know. Okay, backtrack on that. He was with the Royal Family, Jack Victory and Rip Morgan. I think that's the last thing he did. That was yeah. They had somebody else. Blue Bloods had somebody else. I can't remember who. I think his name was Jeeves or something, or they called him Jeeves. But Lord Littlebrook, I think his last little thing was with the Royal Family with Jack Victory and Brett Morgan. Jim Garvin, not quite gorgeous Jimmy yet, or Jimmy Jam yet. This plain old Jim Garvin and Bruce Swayze. Not sure if he's kin to Patrick, but who knows? Defeated Dr. X and Radimus, Brute Bernard, and the Angel. Defeated Bob Ellis and Plowboy Frazier. Of course, you probably remember Plowboy Frazier more famously as Uncle Elmer. Yeah, that's a big old country boy right there. Cool messing with boy. The Hollywood Blondes, Tick Buddy Roberts, and Jerry Brown defeated Norville Austin and Pat Barrett in a loser leaves versus title match to win the Southern Tag Team titles. And another week and another match with Bill Dundee pinning Jerry Lawler in a hair versus hair match to win the Southern title. Lawler's manager, Mickey Poole here, his hair was on the line and it got shaved off. Also on this day in 1977, Paul Jones and Ricky Steamboat defeated Ric Flair and Greg Valentine for the Mid Atlantic Tag Team titles. On this date in 1979, Baron Von Raschke and Paul Jones regained the NWA World Tag Team titles in Raleigh, North Carolina by defeating Ric Flair and Blackjack Mulligan. On this date in 1980, Terry Taylor, we talked about him last week. He was a big star last week. Uh, he wins a tournament for the NWA National Television Championship, defeating Bob Armstrong in the tournament final in Atlanta, Georgia at the Omni. In other matches, Stan Lane defeated Mike Davis. Steve Kern defeated Dennis Condrey. Look there, two matches there, and we uh got got fabulous ones and a Midnight Express there. No Bobby Eaton. That would be fun. Kind of that would be a quink dink. Lars Anderson defeated the Assassins, Jody Hamilton, and Randy Colley. Of course, Randy Colley is more famous being a Moondog. Also, he was the original Demolition Smash. But people were like, hey, you're a Moondog. You're not a Demolition. So they got Crusher Khrushchev to replace him. Kevin Sullivan defeated the Great Mephisto. Abdullah the Butcher defeated Mark Lewin. Fister Wrestling 2, Johnny Walker defeated Mass Superstar Bill 80. Of course, he wound up being Demolition Axe. In a no DQ loser leave town match, Ole and Gene Anderson defeated Andre the Giant and Dusty Rhodes. On this date, 1982, Ole Anderson and Stan Hansen vacated the NWA World Tag Team Championship, and the titles went back to Jim Crockett Promotions. Also on this date in 1982, in Toronto, Canada, at the Maple Leaf Gardens, with attendance of 15,119, Tony Parissa defeated Ken Tibbs. Johnny Weaver, master of the Weaver Lot, baby, defeated Alex Gerard. Paul Jones defeated a Ninja. Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood defeated Private Jim Nelson and Private Don Canola. They were part of the Sergeant Slaughter's Cobra Army. That what they called it, or uh, platoon, whatever it was. Of course, Private Jim Nelson would grow up to become Boris Zukov. Anyway, yeah, Steamboat Youngblood defeated them for the NWA Mid Atlantic Tag Team Championship. Andre the Giant defeated Big John Studd in a no DQ match. Bob Backlund defeated Jimmy Snuka in a steel cage match. On this date in 1985, Jimmy and Jay Uso was born, so happy birthday to them. On this date in 1986, a little bastard named Pac was born. Hey, that's what they call him, the bastard. Pac, he was born in 1986, so happy birthday to him. And in 1987, Apollo Crews was born, so happy birthday to all four of those gentlemen. On this day in 1992, Misahiro Misawa defeated Stan Hansen to become the All Japan Triple Crown champion. This took place in Tokyo, Japan at the Budokan Hall, drawing 16,300 people. On this day in 1993, FMW presented their Summer Spectacular 1993 in Osaka, Japan, uh, at the Hago Mission Stadium, drawing 36,223 people. That's a crap load of people. In the main event, Atsushi Onita pinned Mr. Pogo in an exploding ring no rope barbed wire match to win the first FMW Brass Knucks Championship. And on this date in 1999, the WWF presented SummerSlam in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the Target Center, drawing 17,370 people. They got to see Jeff Jarrett, J A or JEFFJARRETT. Well, he wouldn't do that all that right now. He was kind of being more of a serious wrestler, got his haircut and everything. So trying to be a little more serious. No more cowboy shit for him. No pun intended, Adam Page. Anyway, he defeated D'Lo Brown to win the WWF Intercontinental and European Championship. Farouk and Bradshaw won an elimination style tag team match over Edge and Christian, Matt and Jeff Hardy, Median and Viscera, along with Draws and Prince Albert, Bob, Bob and Crash Hollywood, also in that match. Al Snow pinned Big Boss Man to win the WWF Hardcore Championship. WWF Women's Champion Ivory defeated Tori. Ken Shamrock defeated Steve Blackman in a Lions Den match. Test defeated Shane McMahon. The Undertaker and The Big Show defeated Kane and X-Pac to win the WWF World Tag Team Championship. The Rock and Billy Gunn in a Kiss My Ass match. Yeah, so this is 1999. Billy Gunn, uh, pretty much just playing. He's still got some TV time playing a little, mostly a mentor and all that stuff, and uh, actually doing stuff for One Fall Wrestling. He appears there periodically. And in the main event, oh yeah, in the main event, Mankind defeated Steve Austin and Hunter Hearst Helmsley in a triangle match to win the WWF Heavyweight title. Of course, the special referee in that match was the governor at the time, Jesse the Body Ventura. And that concludes Day in Wrestling History. The Yes, yeah, the mid to late 90s. Yeah, kind of. I do like the, I guess you call it the Attitude Eras slash Monday Night Wars era. That was that was actually some good stuff. Um, the tail end WCW was eh. 98, 99 went too bad. A few little changes were taking place. You know, they split up and reformed DX. You know, because they pushed Triple H, and then they reformed DX, of course, once he became champion and all that. They made them heels as well. Yeah, I mean, I think this kind of thing. Yeah, I think like tail end of '95, going into '96, because that's when the Monday Night War started. When I forgot when Nitro started, but yeah, around there. But then through there, and I think it was pretty good until the tail end of WCW was kind of. It's like I hate to hate to compare it to a current show, but WCW did have some pretty good young talent that wasn't quite there yet. But if WCW could have kept going, I think they actually had a partnership with NWA Wildside in Cornelia, Georgia, as their developmental territory. I believe if they could have just hung out, hung on a little bit longer. Uh, the thing about I think what ultimately killed WCW, I think Eric Bischoff and or Eric Bischoff on his podcast admitted that he had plenty of backers ready to buy WCW. It's just what killed it was the fact that uh, like TBS and TN or Turner Broadcasting was owned by AOL Time Warner now, and so with that being said, uh, they wound up canceling their wrestling. It's going to cancel Nitro, Thunder, and I think they already did away with WCW Saturday Night. But yeah, when they canceled all that, I think that's what killed them. And then it was they bought it. They had to try to find ways to trying to find another network. Um, and I don't guess they had plenty of time to do that because I think the national network TNN, which used to be the National Network, then they changed to the National Network, and they changed it to Spike TV. I think they had ECW at the time. Of course, ECW wound up going going under as well. Oh wait a minute, was no, it was already Spike at the time, wasn't it? Or no, it was already TNN. Did they have Raw already by that time? They might have already had, or if they didn't have Raw already, they already announced they had Raw. So maybe they could have talked USA and Canada. I don't know. I w Yeah, I mean, they both pretty much went down at the same time, was which was sad. I mean, e even though I mean, ECW was great, but they were definitely a distant third, almost playing a almost playing a feeder system to, uh, not only WWE, but WCW, and depends on who you believe that WWE would actually work with Paul Heyman, give give him a little bit of money or something like that when they would take talent, um, almost like it almost seems like Vince McMahon Jr. was doing what his dad would do in the territories, 'cause, Vince Senior was very good to the territories, and if he was ready for like, when he wanted, Stan Hansen to come up and face Bruno, I think Stan might have been wrestling for Bill Watts at the time, Mid South or Tri State, whatever, or Leroy McGurk, whoever, they would be like, "Hey, you want Stan Hansen to come up?" Oh, Bill Watts knew he couldn't promise the same paydays as Vince could, Senior, I could in New York. So it's like, well, okay, thanks for the warning. But Vince Senior would be like, look, we'll take Stan this, let him work out his um 2 to 4 weeks, whatever, finish him up, whatever program you have with him. And when he comes up, look, I give you a week of Andre the Giant. And of course, a week of Andre the Giant is a week of, at that time, was a week of sellout crowds because Andre the Giant was definitely an attraction. So it seems like obviously he didn't want to send any kind of major attractions to ECW. So therefore, Vince just would cut Paul Heyman a check. Say, like he got Scorpio, Too Cold Scorpio, who became Flash Funk in WWE. Um, say we'll take him, but hey, here's some money to compensate your loss of Flash Funk or Too Cold Scorpio. Then he will allow Too Cold Scorpio uh come back for a shot or two, then come back up. But now uh seems like WCW and Eric Bischoff were always uh kind of the back. I mean, the Mike Awesome situation, yeah. It's like Mike Awesome appeared on their pay per view, then he was still the ECW champion or a Nitro or something like that. Then he was still the ECW champion, and then he went back down and lost to pretty much let Taz squash him and ran out the building. But he but WCW, sorry about that, folks. It- But yeah, I mean, I think because sometimes when I think about WCW closing, I think about all the talent that could have possibly came up through there. Because they were kind of sometimes would do away with the hardcore. Some of the matches was not the hardcore style. I mean, they would have kept that in there, but I think they would not really phase it out. But I have a few talents like, you don't really need to do the go through tables and use chairs and stuff like that. Just go in there and have good matches. Like Guerrero and Malenko. Uh, Later on, Lance Storm and Jerry Lynn. I don't think they ever used tables or anything. I mean, they had a house show match one time, and neither one of them took a bump. But you think you think of all the talent that was starting to come up then, like the Christopher Daniels, the SATs, AJ Styles, um, Reckless Youth. I mean, God, Reckless Youth could have been great in ECW. Mikey Quackenbush, and a few others, but uh, unfortunately, one of the reasons Mike Awesome left, I guess, is people were getting bounced checks. So people got bills to pay. I think somebody posted something about that because they're like, "How's this guy get so much heat?" But hey, y'all treat Paul Heyman like a saint when man, he was right, you know, not paying his talent and stuff like that. But and it kind of let them high and dry too. Again, depends on who you listen. But yeah, it was a good little era there. Um, this one ain't too. It, just wish, AEW just do a little bit better stuff. Some of the stuff they do is and they got they got great talent, great young talent, but just then they trying to suck up any kind of talent they can get. Like recently they signed Ace Austin, um, and what's that girl's name? Ala Dawn, right? They signed up, which I was surprised WWE released her. I thought her and Fire made a pretty good tag team, but and they both had not much. I mean, what's that? What's that other guy's name? Alexander or something? I mean, has he even won a match yet? Or maybe he was went part of a winning tag team or something like that. Yeah, was it? Yeah, he was in the match with Ricochet, wasn't he? Which I mean, he's all right, but you did. I mean, got all kinds of talent there. It's like start using some of the people. But anyway, yeah, I definitely like this. I mean, the whole attitude era. It's like I was mentioning the other day. All this. Uh, what do the kids call it? Tribalism, where all these people who are, especially in the internet wrestling community, who are like, "Oh, AEW with the best wrestlers wrestle," and they have stupid angles where you're in front of everybody, you pour gasoline on the guy to get your way, and the guy you're telling, "Hey, I'm gonna light this lighter here," in front of a camera, in front of a backstage crew and everything, and it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. And yes, I understand know, they The Shield, a TV show, where some gangster set somebody on fire. Yes, let's have some like gangster stuff on a TV show, drug cartel or whatever. Yes, you expect that. Um, and what's the thing about AEW once said? But anyway, I digress. I mean, stuff like that makes the whole Katie Vick thing look like a stroke of genius. But yeah, I was definitely sad. I mean, I was pretty sad when WCW went down too, because it's like just gonna have one now. That's never good. And you know, I mean, we got in the aftermath, a few years, a couple of years later, TNA, then Ring of Honor, and I mean, I'll admit I like TNA. I don't care who was running it. Some of the stuff was good. Had good talent there. Like mentioned one time, it's like, man, these people who are just diehard AEW would have given TNA this you know, same chance as they give AEW, man. They would have been a little more solid, but and rest in peace Hulk Hogan. But yeah, that once Hogan came into TNA, that was like, no, this ain't good. And brought all of his people in there, and they had their own, kind of established talent. That hit me or the different. That's irritating my skin, or anyway, thumbs up. All right, are we ready for a little watch along now? I was going to try Georgia Championship Wrestling from August 1980, but couldn't find it. I Memphis 1977, find it. Um, but uh, but I did find some Memphis in August of 1984. And what drew me to this, it has a very like kick-ass classic angle uh, on their TV. But we'll get all into it once we start watching. Like I said, this is Memphis from August 25th, I think, 1984. So I sent the link along, or put the link in the chat. As soon as you folks are ready, let me know. Do a little countdown. Let me get ready. Got 7 or 8. Get started. I should, hey, friends and family, if anything, you shouldn't be sending me texts. You should be watching me. Anyway, yes, so I'm ready. When you folks are ready, I'll do a little countdown. We'll watch some Memphis from August 25th, 1984. The very cool kick ass angle. This one, I think it's kick ass. I think I actually had this on tape at one time. It might have been part of the Eddie Gilbert Jr. interview I had. I might have had this full episode. I can't remember. Yes, sorry, it does involve Eddie Gilbert. So anyway, we'll do a countdown here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play now. I should just like sit here 30. Give y'all like 30 seconds. Would be all. Anyway, press play now. There's a classic, classic intro there with the. I think a lot of promotions, a lot of the territories on their TVs will have that statue. Southeastern did, but they kind of like did some theatrics with it. Then we watched Big Time Wrestling one time, and they had it as well. There's a legendary team of Lance Russell and Dave Brown. Okay, this is they're saying it's August 8th. Why'd you tell it August 25th then? The thing. But yeah, I guess it's August 18th. My bad. I blame the person who put the video up. I will say thank you, whoever did it. Enjoy the views. That's all. think that's what I should do. Start, when I get a video, people put in the comments, say, hey, if you don't mind, do as they watch along. Do I share the link, put comments in that. Oh, look at that guy. That guy's like, yeah, Lance Wrestling Dave Brown was really good. Not a heel commentator, not a babyface commentator team. One being babyface, one being heel. One was kind of more of a play-by-play guy. One was kind of the announcer guy. Legendary Jimmy Hart with King Kong. Oh, Jim Jameson, the legend himself. Oh, Kurt Vonnegut, future Hall of Famer, and the late great King Kong Bundy, who main evented WrestleMania 2, then got stuck with hillbillies and midgets in WrestleMania. Oh, there's a big play. That's got to be it. And of course, referee is Jerry Calhoun. Probably one of the if you're gonna put a Hall of Fame of referees, he's got to be one of the ones considered for that. You got Tommy Young, you got the Hebners, you got uh, Sonny Fargo, who's decent. You got Scrappy McGowan, Pee Wee Anderson, Mark Curtis. Yeah, put Jerry Calhoun on there. Paul Morton. I don't think so. I think there was a little bit of heat between Bundy and I guess Vince at the time. Bundy, I do not think is in. Or Whippersnapper. Interesting note. King Kong Bundy was in a stable with the Road Warriors and Jake the Snake Roberts as the Legions of Doom. Then, of course, later on, the Road Warriors kind of kept it. Well, kind of kept the like the nickname Legion of Doom Road Warriors until they went to WWE or WWF and became just Legion of Doom. Oh, the big elbow. That's gotta be it. Put his nuts in his. Oh, man, that's embarrassing, man. Come on. Put his nuts in his face, then you pick them up. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, here comes the avalanche. Not the five, dildo. But yes, Jerry Calhoun was Jerry Lawler's brother-in-law. You ever see? Did anybody ever see the Sheer interview with King Kong Bundy? He always like slap the guy who Bundy was talking to a guy, and he always kept on wanting to slap his leg, slap his knee. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Sorry, I got visuals this week. That's just one. And there he is, Pally, the original fabulous one, Jackie Fargo. You see a strut, whether it be Ric Flair, Fantastics, Fabulous Ones. Lately, Xavier Woods has been doing the strut. That's the guy who invented it. Well, Buddy Rogers, but Fargo, it was, I don't know, something about Fargo doing it. Ricky Rudy. Yeah, that's all you need. You don't have to say, okay, this says, beating their brains in or something like that. Nowadays, everybody wants to say, I'm going to kill you, or I want to kill you. See, listen to that crowd. Just call him a wimp and all that. Nothing, and then, this is a studio. Nothing is piped in. They hated Jimmy Hart that much. The five. Where's, where's Stan Lane was entered this time? Oh, Pagu, mother Pagu. But yeah, I mean, his interview was pretty good. Is Wrestling Fans International like a Chris? What was Bunny? Bunny's real name was Pallet, or real name was Chris. Sorry. My phone. King Kong Bundy's real name was Chris Palace. Pallies. I knew his first name was Chris. I thought that was his real name. But yeah, King Kong Bundy's real name was is Chris Pallies. So yeah, here we go. Here we got the tag team of the year. Here comes Eddie Gilbert. A little bit backstory here. Uh, Stan and Steve, the Fabulous Ones, went to wrestle for the AWA, left Memphis. So they brought in Eddie Gilbert and Tommy Rich to be the new Fabulous Ones. Uh, didn't get over too well. Fabulous Ones wound up coming back, and they just kind of kept Eddie Gilbert and Tommy Rich. You know, just call them the team of Eddie Gilbert and Tommy Rich. Then of course, uh, Eddie turn Eddie would turn on Tommy Rich and start a little feud. But here's one of the main angles from it, so it's pretty interesting. Check it out. If that was really him. And the fans are cheering now, and what's coming out, and there's Tommy Rich right there. Tennessee boy who likes drinking beer and drinking whiskey and listening to country music out in a fucking suit. It's okay. That suit's getting messed up right now. Comes out. Let's Eddie Gilbert open. Now here comes people to kind of break it up. That's the guy who the other guy. That's not the both Batten twins. That's I think that's Brad or Bart Batten with somebody else. I forgot the other guy's name. I think the wrestler is a new sensation. Exactly. The freaking the brawls, but you know, reel you in. This is such good stuff here. There we go. The handshake, the hug. All right, go on to the back. Clean you up, buddy. And bam. Tommy's like, hey, man. Come on, man. There we go. Oh, right on top of the noggin. God dang. Come on, man. That's a Sears. That's a top of the line Sears suit you're ripping there. Yes, sir. Look at that damn. Oh man. Look at that floor. And you got, as far as great bleeders in the business, Tommy Rich is one of them. He'll definitely give you that crimson mask. Yeah, the hair, but man, oh, kind of like Rick. I mean, Ric Flair was a great bleeder too. He'll be all in his hair and face, and plus he just got hit in the frick right on top of the noggin with that chair. That had a smart. I mean, that had it hurt a little bit. But yeah, they talking about Rick Rude. I think this like one of the first promotions that showcased Rick Rude, who gave him like the Ravishing name and pushed him. 'Cause I know after this, I think he went to Florida and world class. It's like tell people, get your kids off this damn ring. Lance Russell, get your ass down. Get your ass out of the ring. Here, here comes Calhoun. Good Lord. Damn. Busted his windshield. And Lauder came out there in his damn underwear. I hear him messing with my car. Was those Hey, were those women laughing at the kingfish? I see if this happened today, what would happen? Somebody be beat or you know, taking a ball bat, knocking the windshield out and everything else, and wait till the wrestler's music hits and he'll come in, pose, everything else, put the pyros up, then go worry about his car. Even though I think I want to have some britches on, but apparently a little more. I guess that was a pair of tights or a pair of trunks, not whitey tighties or anything like that. At least he had trunks on. Ran out there after he's was as he was taking a shower, so it kind of kept it a little more grounded. I would say the B days this from Lance. Mama said the B's that way sometimes. And of course, Tommy's back in Memphis right now. This is after the Black Saturday deal. Vince took over WTBS. Then Tommy would actually go back and work for Ole Anderson when he launched Championship Wrestling from Georgia. And they had a little bit of working relationship with Jarrett's too. That's all you need sometimes. It's short and sweet. Hey, bust my head open, piss me off, dude. I'm not gonna wrestle you. I'm gonna fight you, buddy. Now, so Mid South Coliseum, there was I've gone through and said some attendance, but look at those ticket prices back in the day: $5, $6, and $7. Heck, you can't go. I don't think there's too many indie shows you can go to nowadays. That's 5, $6, or $7. The one I go to in Monroe, Georgia, that's uh, 15 and 20. Now the spoiler, this wasn't Don Jardine's spoiler. I knew this. Okay, yeah, that's how I thought it was. Uh, the spoiler was Angel. Was the spoiler world. Oh, oh, here, can you fish there? Just, it was okay. It was Frank Morrell. Yeah, I could have seen myself taking some yeah, especially during summertime or something like that. No school. Take a couple road trips down to Memphis. Leave on like a Friday. See if we can go see the live TV taping Saturday morning. Maybe Sunday, do the sightseeing thing. Go to Graceland. Then that Monday night, uh, go check out a show at Mid South Coliseum. Then probably probably drive home Tuesday morning. It's a promise, brother. And yes, at the time, Hogan was the only person that said brother. So you can kind of tell this is a, not really rookie, but first time, the first time he's, kind of been uh, getting a push here. Like, okay, now you got, do promos now. So he wasn't that great on promos quite yet, but you can still tell that it's like, it's like, okay, this guy's going to be something. But he would have, I think it was what 93, 94, or 92. Yeah, when he came at WCW, I mean, he should have been like, nothing against Vader. He should have been a number one heel, maybe the world champion heel. Damn peons. So I wonder whose house they did this promo at. Was it Jerry Jarrett's house or Jerry Lawler's house? All right, so we got this rookie here named Mike Regan. Of course, he's no, Mike Regan. Of course, it was the '80s, so yeah, he's doing some little break dancing now. So of course, being 80, that 83 or 84, break dancing was the thing. Michael Jackson was the biggest pop star in the world. Thriller, yeah, quick work. Want to dance here? I can't tell you what I don't recall Mike Regan's career beyond this. Sorry, folks. course, Keith Robinson be a long time stay of or long time enhancement talent for Memphis Wrestling. How many years. Yeah, that was part of his career out there. Yeah, Keith Robinson had a bigger career as the enhancement talent in Memphis Wrestling than Mike Regan had a career. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Dutch Mantel, bad motherfucker. So Dutch showing Robinson and say, hey, there's a reason they call me Dutch Mantel, bad motherfucker. Yes, that's Frank Morrell, who's playing the part of the spoiler. Definitely not Don Jardine. That's Big Phil Hickerson. Yes, Paul Morton is the father of Ricky Morton. Yes, that was the loaded mask gimmick that's being done famously now by El Grande Americano. Before somebody else made a sockman or sock face phrase famous. It was Dutch Mantel, bad motherfucker. I'm going to show you why. They call me Dutch Mantel. Bad mother. Tapped out. You tapped out, Calhoun. He's tapping out, Calhoun. Help him out. Uh-oh. You're making him mad. That wasn't pretty. Yes, the Nightmares at this point was Ken Wayne and Danny Davis in the masks. Yeah, they were not sure what the other Batten was, but guess he needed a partner, so they got him this guy. And because they were kind of like I said, they like using. This is generation where, or this is the era where the Pretty Boy, Rock and Roll Express, Fabulous Ones, Fantastics, babyface tag teams were kind of thing there. I think they gave him a slight little push a little bit, but then Fabulous Ones came back, and Rock and Roll was there for a little bit. Or yeah, this is '84, so I can't remember if this is before or after. Um, well, okay, I think the Rock and Roll did go to Mid South for a while. And I think this is when they came back for a bit. Then before they went back to Mid South again. Now the bands were actually a pretty decent little tag team. It was the '80s, man. Uh, the Nightmares. The Nightmares came out to, yeah, "Hello Again" by the Cars. Not this one. I think it's more Continental when they did that. They would also at times, come out to "We're Not Gonna Take It" by Twisted Sister. But yeah, when I was in Continental, every now and then they come out to "Hello Again" by the Cars, and I guess when they had to get a little serious, they had to switch it up and to "We're Not Gonna Take It" by Twisted Sister. Ooh, I I think that's Ken Wayne right there. I ain't mistaken. Yeah, because Ken Wayne was a little heavier than Danny Davis. And see, this is cool about this era too. It's like you could just be just a regular mass wrestler without being a luchador. That's some classic stuff right there. Distract the ref, piss off the other baby face. Tojo Yamamoto. The boots to him. They call him Mark Bat. And of course, yes, Danny Davis is the guy who was one of the founders of OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling. Helped train or to finish training Cena, Punk, Batista, Randy Orton. Yeah, he was, or it was his promotion, Ohio Valley Wrestling, that they used as a uh, developmental territory with Jim Cornette overseeing it. And later on, Ohio Valley became the developmental system or territory for TNA. Dang it, I'm kicking the fuck out of these people. That's it. Uh-oh. There's Tojo. Jimmy Hart was just freaking hilarious. Yeah, drop kick and landed on his feet. See, that's how you do it as a heel. It's like, yeah, we're innocent. Tojo interfered. Here's the usual recap. There was a couple guys I do remember who used to be able to do that. Uh, I know Coco Beware was able to do it a bunch of times, sometimes from the second rope, just do a drop kick. Bobby Eaton was able to do a drop kick from the top rope and land on his feet. And I don't know if any of you folks remember Doug Furnace, uh, big, huge power lifter guy. Uh, Jack, just one Jack dude. He used to do a drop kick and do like a when he hit that drop kick, he would flip back, right on his feet like a bit, drop, flip, and land on his feet. Looked pretty cool at the time. I don't think he really did that later on in his career, but I saw these misses. Yeah, Doug Furnace. Yeah, he wrestled in. Yeah, actually, he did in Continental. I know he went to USA Wrestling, Smoky Mountain, WCW for a while, Smoky Mountain. I think he had a bigger career in Japan. Him and Dan Crawford. I think that's where he made most of his money from. His brother trying to get in, or did have a handful of matches. Not as good as Doug. Doug was pretty good. Probably the only thing missing from him was probably uh, promo skills and just somebody to kind of say, hey, push me, push me. I mean, they Crawford and Furnace went to ECW for a bit too. They were actually in WWE. Uh, they changed Dan Crawford's name to Philip LaFon, which might be his real name, I guess. He was Canadian. Also a Kansas Jayhawk one time, teaming with Bobby Jaggers in Puerto Rico. Yes, Dan Crawford from Quebec, Canada, became a Kansas Jayhawk. Uh, Now Bobby Jaggers was, I guess, at least built from Kansas City or Kansas, state of Kansas, not Kansas City, but that up. But I think his original Kansas Jayhawk partner was Dutch Mantel from Northrop, Texas. Was a Kansas Jayhawk. I think on his podcast he talked about that and kind of left it off. But yeah, the Jayhawks in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Yeah, Memphis had a lot of good stuff on it. So trying to find Georgia at the time. Um, yeah, and Crockett. Yeah, it was Dutch Mantel and Bobby Jaggers, Kansas Jayhawks. Don't know who came up with that one. I guess they couldn't really use bad motherfucker back then or bad motherfuckers. I mean, it was the '80s, so probably now they could. So bad mofos, or I mean, it is on Netflix, so they motherfucker. Naomi was able to say shit like getting bleeped on Netflix. Yeah, guess it's too bad you can't get too much '70s stuff. There'll be some interesting stuff to see. So, I mean, probably mid to late '70s. A lot of the Hall of Famers you see now really starting to get their stride in, or just starting out, and everything. Kind of cool. I mean, even here, it's like you had basically Rick Rude first push in a territory. I think he's been wrestling. It's like 80. There's a video of 82 in Georgia. Um, 83, 84. He wrestled a little bit in Mid South before he became Ravishing Rick Rude. He was part of that Rock and Roll Express trade. Rude was in Mid South because it's like Rick Rude, um, Hacksaw Higgins, some Japanese guy, somebody else, and then uh, Bill Watts got Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express, Bill Dundee the book, and of course Jim Cornette. That is a pretty cool story. If you can watch, they all Bill Watts recount of it, and Bill Watts, Jim Cornette's Rock and Roll Expresses, or Bobby Eaton. Um, one with Dennis Country, he has a little recount. They basically say the same thing. Like, yeah, Bill Watts won that end of the deal, won that trade. That's what's missing today. I almost wanted because he was trying to actually buy AWA, and well, he did buy Georgia Championship Wrestling at TV time, but he wound up using the syndicate. I mean, eventually he did have studio matches. Uh, and I know we watched the actual um, Black Saturday episode. We ever watch a WWF from the WTBS studios? Because there are a few of those. Maybe somewhere down in the future we'll check one of those out. But um, yeah, any of you folks watching it, give me a territory. I'm trying to blend in our watch alongs with the history a little bit. Sometimes that don't work like I want it to. I'm pretty sure come tomorrow I'll see a bunch of stuff on YouTube. Uh, but I'll see a bunch of Mid Atlantic from 1978 or 9, and what I was trying to look for. It's like when you're trying to look, it's like anything else. You try to look for something, but you can't find it. Then boom, it's there. Okay, so yeah, we'll do one of those sometime in the future. When I prep next week's show, look at the history. Well, there any territories that we haven't seen, haven't watched that you folks might be interested in checking out? If so, let me know. Uh, anytime, anytime anybody watches this in the comments, right? It's all good. Like going back and watching it, even some of the goofy stuff. Yeah, I've seen a couple things on YouTube. A very good match with Les Thornton and Miss Wrestling 2. That's the one. Yes, Miss Wrestling number 2 and WWF. Even though it's in the studios, but I mean, you can find like little promos where Miss Wrestling 2 was being interviewed by Gene Okerlund. He spent very little time there. He didn't last long. Kind of like Buzz Sawyer, the Bulldog, not the bad dog, the Bulldog Buzz Sawyer. He had a cup of coffee in WWF, being managed by uh, Captain Lou Albano, and I guess like 80, yeah, around 86 ish. Dick Slater was in the WWF. Yeah, it didn't really last too long either. Yeah, I'm pretty sure come next, I'll look at things again and see what I can come up with. Some things kind of to avoid a little bit. But there's some of the stuff that's kind of missing. I have to really dig in and start really researching stuff instead of trying to relying on one or two. Because a lot of them, they just want to focus on NWA, which they're all WA territories. Uh, but sometimes miss some things every now and then that they kind of focus on. Memphis you'll get a lot of, Georgia you get a lot of course WWF you get a lot of. Uh, missing something. Could be this, some of these sites don't have that info. I'll dig in there, what we could find. But yeah, I would have loved to have been at, driving age, maybe 18, 17, 18 years old, something like that. Or, early 20s. So, something I can be like, hey, take a road trip. Of course, being at the time of, Georgia Championship Wrestling in the late 70s, 80s, that would have been cool. Because they could probably catch most of it. I mean, yeah, Columbus, Macon, probably would have missed those because those have been a little bit long drives to go back and forth. Even though I've done those now, but not too often. Columbus, especially, I mean, it's because you got to drive right through Atlanta. Like where I live now, I can make it to Macon. It'll probably be like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but you're constantly going a back road, and it's not like the stop and go traffic of 85 and stuff. I think I'm about to call it a night. Getting a little hungry now. Uh, but appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate everybody on the chats and everything. Hey, and if you're not watching, didn't watch this live, still hit me up in the chat or hit me up in the comments. Let me know any memories or just be friendly, say hello. Uh, Other than that, folks, have a good weekend. Take care. Take it easy. And until next time,
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Ronald Ray here saying thank you for checking out my video. If you don't mind, go ahead and click that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and share this video with family and friends. I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe to RP2 Vision, where I cover the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. Now, don't forget to click the notification bell as well, so you'll be notified when my other weekly content is available, like Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, WWE Raw Recap, and AEW Dynamite Recap. I also have 2 live streams. Every Thursday at 8 p.m., it's Spot Show Live Stream, where I discuss the latest news in professional wrestling. And on Friday nights at 8 o'clock p.m., it's Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where I discuss the good old days of professional wrestling. When wrestling was wrestling, wrestling was real because it's still real to us. Folks, have a good one and take it easy.